PadathuMappila Kudumpa Yogam is the front organization of PadathuMappila family. It came into being on August 29, 1938, and is governed by a constitution that came into effect on February 20, 1988. All adult members of the family constitute the Kudumpa Yogam. The Kudumpa Yogam has a central committee and 6 regional or Shaka committees. As for PadathuMappila family, it was founded around 1550 AD at Padathu in the village of Meenadam. It is named after its founder, PadathuMappila. Though his real name was Mathan, he was known to everyone as PadathuMappila. Mathan was originally from an old Christian family at Kothamangalam in the Vadakumkur kingdom. The family's first ancestor was a Brahmin who converted to Christianity as early as 14th century AD. He and his descendants were parishioners of Kothamangalam Valleyapalli. Mathan, along with his younger brother, Thuman, and a few others of his family came to Kottayam in search of better opportunities. Being from a neighboring kingdom, the 2 brothers had to present themselves before the king of Thekkumkur for an audience with him. At that very first audience, the brothers pleased the king with an excellent display of martial arts. The king of Thekkumkur conferred the title Tharakan on Mathan, and Thuman was given the title Panikar. Mathan was authorized to collect a tax from local merchants on commodities like pepper, ginger, etc. Thuman was authorized to open a colliery, a martial arts school, at Kunnel near Venimala to train the king's soldiers. Mathan Tharakan was having a life of ease at Padathu. But a strange dream on a Sunday night changed all that, and the rest of his life was almost wholly devoted to the construction and upkeep of Monarchatu Church. Mathan Tharakan and his kin used to attend Sunday Mass at Kottayam Valleyapalli. A priest from that church had agreed to attend a feast arranged at Padathu on a Sunday afternoon. But he did not come till late in the evening. This saddened Mathan, and after seeing his guests off, went to bed without eating anything. Soon he fell asleep and had a strange dream. In the dream he saw himself standing near a marshy place at Monarchatu, where lay a white cow and its newborn calf. He also heard a voice telling him that he was to build a church there. The dream repeated itself 3 times before he was fully awake. Mathan was convinced that it was not a mere dream but a vision. Early in the morning, Mathan set out for Monarchatu in search of the place he saw in his dream. He was surprised to see the same place and a white cow and its calf lying there right in front of him. Soon the sight of the cow and its calf transformed itself in his mind's eye into the divine figure of Virgin Mary holding infant Jesus close to her bosom. He rushed back home thinking how to accomplish what God wanted him to do. Mathan took courage to approach the then king of Thekkumkur, to tell him of his vision and to request him if a little land could be allotted for the church. But the king at first expressed his inability to accede to his request for 2 reasons. First, it was Devaswam land, and, second, the local Hindu warlords, Edathil Tamparakal, would oppose the very idea of a church in their village. But the king later relented, and was staked out for the church. Mathan Tharakan lost no time in going about with the task. He was always there to supervise the work. At last, around 1560–65 AD, a small church with a thatched roof was built at the very spot where he had seen the white cow and the calf. The construction of the church did not end Mathan's worries. Edathil Tamparan's henchmen burnt it down. Mathan rebuilt it, but it was again set on fire. At least 3 times it was torched over a period of a few years. The building and rebuilding of the church several times had made PadathuMappila's financial position very untenable. It was impossible for him to carry on with the work any longer all by himself. But Mathan was not willing to abandon the God-given mission. He approached Kalakadampal family and a few other prominent Christian families at Tiruvanjur for help. Finally they agreed to undertake the construction of the church with the main support of Kalakadampal family. Mathan took it upon himself to end Edathil family's opposition to the church. He approached Ilampilakatu Panikar, for help in resolving the problem. Panikar, at last, agreed to mediate in the matter. This mediation was fruitful, and eventually Adadal family ended its opposition to the church. The agreement arrived at between PadathuMappila and the Christians of Tiruvanjur was that the church would belong to all Christians in the area, and he would cease to be its sole owner. The parish would compensate him for all the expenditure he had incurred earlier for the church. It was decided that the new church should be an exact replica of Kottayam Tirupalli. The church was finally built around 1585–90. But it was a little smaller than Tirupalli. In consideration of the many sacrifices PadathuMappila had made for the church, the parish granted his family 7 special rights in the church. In 1958, when the church came to have its own constitution, the family was left with only the right to stand by the offertory box of the church on festival days. Even after relinquishing the ownership of the church, PadathuMappila continued to be as active as before in the affairs of the church. He brought a sexton for the church from Kothamangalam. A priest from his own family at Kothamangalam was brought in to consecrate the church. His name was Yaqub. His memory is observed every year as the departed priest's day by PadathuMappila Kudumpa Yogam on the Saturday that comes immediately after Munnunampu. PadathuMappila moved house permanently from Meenadam to Manarkadu along with one of his sons. He built a house there, which came to be known as PadathuMarlika. Following this, Thaman Panikar also came over to Manarkadu to live close to his elder brother. At first, PadathuMappila family was confined to a few homesteads at Meenadam and Manarkadu. But, afterwards the family spread to various other places. The first descendant of PadathuMappila who decided to live away from Meenadam was Thamandharakan. He was a grandson of PadathuMappila. He set up house at Kongaza and named it as Kothapalil. The families that descended from him constitute Kothapalil Shaka of the family. Almost immediately after Thamandharakan had left for Kongaza, another grandson of PadathuMappila, whose name has remained obscure, also migrated from Meenadam to Kothala. His descendants make up Pawathu Shaka of the family. Another grandson of PadathuMappila who had been living at Kunnel with his uncle, Thaman Panikar, migrated to Thadakadu. His name was Idi Mappila. Because his name was Idi from Padathu family, the Shaka he founded has come to be known as Idi Yapadath Shaka of the family. In 1749, when Marthandavarma conquered Thekkumkur, PadathuMappila family began to feel very insecure. The family was subjected to selective persecution by the new dispensation. PadathuMarlika was burnt down, and its then occupant, Thamandharakan, and his son managed to escape incognito to South Paravur in a mercantile boat. There, with the help of Karatu family, he found a house near Kandanadu church and named it as Padath. It was this descendant of PadathuMappila who founded Kandanad Padathu Shaka of the family. Sometime after PadathuMarlika was destroyed, a descendant of PadathuMappila came to Manarkadu from Venamala. His name was Mathukoratharakan. He built his house on a piece of land called Kunnel, which had traditionally been with the family. This forefather is regarded as the founder of Kunnel Shaka of the family. After most of its members had migrated to different places, PadathuMappila family at Padath was reduced to just one household. The last known male member of that family was Cherian. He took an active role in building St. Thomas Orthodox Church, Meenadam. He had only a daughter. Her name was Sosama, who was married into Malil family. Her husband moved over to Meenadam to live with her at Padathu. The present Padathu Parampil Shaka owes its descent to this couple. Today, with 6 Shakas, 40 Upashakas and more than 1,500 families in it, PadathuMappila Kudumpa Yogam is one of the largest of all Christian Kudumpa Yogams in Kerala. The members of all these families put together number more than 5,000, and are found in almost all parts of the world. The Kudumpa Yogam has come a long way from the teething problems of its early days, but it has still a long way to go before it fully realizes the dreams of its founding fathers.